Information here, some developments in the latest email drop from this morning. Ed Henry has been digging through these emails. So, Ed, tell us, what have you found?
Well, Martha, this is very interesting because it's an email that might draw President Obama deeper into this controversy than he has been before. Remember, the president has previously said that he was unaware that Hillary Clinton had a private server, number one, and that they emailed one another infrequently. But this email flagged by Jennifer Williams, one of our top producers, saying that in March 4th, 2015, quote, this is John Podesta to Cheryl Mills, quote, think we should hold emails to and from POTUS, as in President of the United States. That's the heart of his executive privilege. We could get them to ask for that. That appears to be Republicans. They may not care, but it seems he meant like they will.
WikiLeaks has posted thousands of emails hacked from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, and they could offer a new perspective on her relationship with Wall Street. The emails from John Podesta include bits of speeches Clinton apparently gave to big financial firms just after she left the State Department. And those speeches coming behind closed doors. Her campaign is not confirming the email's authenticity, but they're not denying it either.
The trade issue is really tough, I will tell you that. So her stance on trade is an issue. She's talking about there should be basically open borders, and that she's a trade supporter. Now, that's something that I think a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters had suspected and had known. She has a background of supporting NAFTA, of supporting the Trans-Pacific Partnership, even though she totally flip-flopped on that and now is against it.
The new FBI release of documents from Hillary's investigation left CNN's panel stunned.
Unlike 17,500 emails that she lied about turning over. The server wiped. Within weeks of there being a report that she had a private server, it was wiped. She thought that C, which stands for classified, stood for cookie or something, which stands for classified. She thought that drone strikes are not classified. She said that the reason she used this private server is for convenience, and that she only had one device. She used 13 BlackBerries, let me finish, and 5 iPads. This is somebody who is absolutely disqualified from becoming president. They destroyed BlackBerries with hammers in the State Department.
You fact check that. Hang on, Evan Perez. Hammers, fact check that for me, please, on the fly.
Yes, they did, Brooke. As you mentioned, there were 13 devices, mobile devices, and 5 iPads that the FBI said that, in some way were used with her private email server, and they did, in some cases, just destroy them with hammers when they were done using them.
So, Matthew, a lot has been made in this campaign of the language that is used, the name calling that's been used, especially in the primary. As an 11-year-old watching it, what's your reaction?
I really think that listening to a few bad words coming out of Donald Trump is a lot better than people getting blown up by terrorists, people getting burned alive, heads being chopped off, and people getting drowned.
The difference between my father and Hillary Clinton is Hillary Clinton has lived off of the government her entire life. She's never created
Eric, my question though is, has he paid federal income taxes over the last 18 years, yes or no?
Of course, yes, absolutely.
Well, obviously it was very offensive. However, I think it's totally irrelevant. I mean, it was so long ago, and I do believe that most men will talk about women in ways that they would never talk about publicly. But here's the thing, he's not running to be the Pope. Hillary Clinton doesn't care about murdering baby, dismembering abortion.
Of course, Hillary Clinton is scrambling. She's blaming everything on Russia. She's saying Russia is manipulating the U.S. elections.
What the Sanders campaign is trying to do is to link donations to my political campaign, or really donations to anyone's political campaign, with undue influence, with changing people's views and votes. I've never, ever done that.
Newly declassified emails belonging to Hillary Clinton reveal some new possible motives behind the intervention in Libya. The latest batch of correspondence released by the U.S. State Department containing information over the threat posed by Gaddafi's gold reserves. Documents say they could have been used to establish a Pan-African currency able to compete with the dollar in the region.
Delete tens of thousands of those emails. She wiped the server clean.
What, like with a cloth or something?
Friday, WikiLeaks released a batch of more than 2,000 emails it says were hacked from the account of Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta. The emails include what appear to be excerpts from the Wall Street events that earned Clinton millions of dollars.
She made $21.6 million giving speeches to Wall Street banks and other special interests.
In a speech in early 2014, Clinton acknowledged she is out of touch with the middle class, noting, "The life I've lived and the economics, fortunes that my husband and I now enjoy." She told another group that politicians need both a public and a private position to appease voters.
But we turned over everything that was work-related.
The Cavalier Clintons are at it again. In tonight's opening statement, I'll tell you why what we now know about the Clinton Foundation and its pay-to-play politics are enough to disqualify Hillary Clinton from a move into the White House.
And this is not old news. She set up the personal server to prevent us from learning her private business, because Bill and Hillary Clinton are the Bonnie and Clyde of American politics. Why would she violate federal regulations upon which she was schooled just before she became Secretary of State? Not to mention violate federal criminal laws that would put her in jail.
Unbelievable breaking story now. Of course, you're not going to hear this on the mainstream press. A former White House chef has now gone public stating that Hillary Clinton called a black servant the N-word.
Pretty amazing. I know that the left is going to smear, slander, besmirch you. You're ready for that, right?
Sure, I am. And it's already started.
And you felt compelled to tell the story because why? Let me ask that.
Because I want the Americans to know what the real Clinton administration is like. Mrs. Clinton is not a leader. She's a very, very angry person all the time. I've seen many instances that I talk about in my book, Crisis of Character, where she displays this holier than thou attitude, do as I say, not as I do. She's a dictator. She comes across as a dictator. I've seen her berate many people, and myself included.
You describe a woman that is very phony. In other words, you talk about how she'd tell you to go to hell, or tell another agent to go blank himself.
Correct.
And how she threw a Bible at a Secret Service officer or agent.
Yes, sir.
But first tonight, we'll report what the mainstream media refuses to tell you. A shocking new undercover video from James O'Keefe's Project Veritas appears to show Democratic operatives admitting that they're responsible for stoking the violence that we have seen at Trump campaign rallies. Now, Fox News Channel has not independently verified the content in the video, but what was caught on tape is beyond disturbing. Watch this. All right, now here to get the reaction, we bring with us the author of the New York Times bestseller, Treason, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. I want to read one more thing that came out here, Mr. Speaker, if I may, because in this video they explain the flow of money and their rapid response operations. And this is what they say. The campaign pays the DNC. The DNC pays Democracy Partners. Democracy Partners pays the Foval Group. The Foval Group goes out and executes the on the ground, meaning when they foment anger and fighting and even take credit and brag about that they're responsible for what happened in Chicago when they stopped Donald Trump from giving a speech.
A systematic organization that blocked Trump from even having a meeting in Chicago. It's a direct assault on democracy and on the rule of law. And of course, just yesterday, you had a Republican campaign headquarters in North Carolina that was firebombed, something which I think was an act of intimidation that's designed really to say to people, you better not go to Republican headquarters. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, this is the sort of thing the left is so terrified of a genuine outsider winning that you're getting this kind of really illegal and anti-American activities that we should all be condemning, including, by the way, Hillary Clinton.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I take it a step further. I want to know what she knows and when she knew it, because they are more than suggesting. They are saying on this tape that they are coordinating with the DNC. They are coordinating with, by the way, that would be a violation of campaign finance law. But all of this is coordinated, all of this is designed, that this is organized by them around the country to create a false image that Trump campaigns are violent. And they said they're doing it in every city, in every town, in every state, and they themselves are fomenting the violence.
We have got some breaking news for you now. Yes, an undercover video has now been circulating exposing Hillary Clinton's criminal efforts to sabotage Donald Trump. Now, according to the Conservative Tribune, they report a shocking new video from Project Veritas using hidden camera footage from liberal PACs showing that Hillary supporting elements have been involved in provoking violence at Trump rallies to further the narrative of violence by Trump supporters. And of course, what happens? That narrative is picked up by the press and parroted across the country, influencing the entire election. These are the criminal operatives, criminal political operatives working for Hillary Clinton and the DNC.
And now, just last week, we learned that 2 boxes of emails and evidence are mysteriously missing. They're gone. Hillary Clinton should have been prosecuted, and she should right now be in jail. The FBI and the Department of Justice created a fraud in allowing Hillary Clinton to get away with her terrible crimes.
Their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done, and it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not surprised.
Really? Because Bernie Sanders, between superdelegates and Deborah Wasserman Schultz, he never had a chance, and I was so surprised to see him sign on with the devil. I think the one that you should really be apologizing for, and the thing that you should be apologizing for, are the 33,000 emails that you deleted and that you acid washed. And then the 2 boxes of emails and other things last week. I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it, but if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it. And we're going to have a special prosecutor. The people of this country are furious. In my opinion, the people that have been long-term workers at the FBI are furious. There has never been anything like this, where emails and you get a subpoena, and after getting the subpoena, you delete 33,000 emails. And then you acid wash them, or bleach them, as you would say, a very expensive process. So we're going to get a special prosecutor, and we're going to look into it, because you know what? People have been, their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done, and it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Now, I don't consider myself deplorable. Hillary, you bow to and take money from countries who throw gays off buildings. You take money for your so-called charity from countries that don't allow women to drive. A so-called feminist who supports countries that force women to cover every part of their bodies but their eyeballs. And you want to call us Islamophobes?
We're described in the most deplorable of terms. So let me just say from the bottom of my heart, Hillary, they are not a basket of anything. They are Americans, and they deserve your respect.
So, to paraphrase Ms. Clinton, if you're not supporting her, the liar, you are either in a basket of deplorables or losers and idiots that need to be saved by her lying ass. Really? I don't think so, Hillary. But at least the truth finally came out. It's bad enough you've been hiding from the media and the people for the last 6 months. It's bad enough you have called the families of fallen Benghazi warriors liars while lying to their faces. It's bad enough that you compromised national security so you could hide your crookedness on a private server. It's bad enough you and your apologists have been lying about your health. It's bad enough you've lied to the American people on countless occasions. It's bad enough that you waltz around in $12,000 Armani jackets and wine and dine with big donors, all while telling the common folk you know their struggle. But now you have the audacity to call Trump supporters racist, sexist, xenophobic, homophobic, and Islamophobic, while you and your foundation donors and those funding your lifestyle literally stone women and throw gays off buildings? That's some pretty rich stuff coming from you, Hillary, so let me correct you. It's not racist to believe in accountability, reject victimhood, and speak out against the antics of the Black Lives Matter More movement and support our police officers. It's not sexist to deny the presidency to a woman because that woman is a crooked sack of lies. It's not xenophobic to put Americans first in our own damn country and believe in a secure border and respect for rule of law. And listen here, Ms. Clinton, it's not Islamophobic to call our enemies what they are, radical Muslims. I think you've got it twisted, but make no mistake, this basket of deplorable Americans will make our presence known in November. We will fill our baskets with guns, God, glory, faith, family, and freedom. Don't you worry. But Hillary, one last thing. What's in your basket? Lies. You're not fit to lead the tens of millions of Americans you call deplorable. It just so happens we won't be giving you the chance to try.
Friends, delegates, and fellow Americans, I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States. Together, we will lead our party back to the White House, and we will lead our country back to safety, prosperity, and peace. We will be a country of generosity and warmth, but we will also be a country of law and order. The crime and violence that today afflicts our nation will soon, and I mean very soon, come to an end. We cannot afford to be so politically correct anymore. We will honor the American people with the truth and nothing else. Our trade deficit is $800 billion. Yet, think of that. $800 billion. Last year alone, we're going to fix that. Our roads and bridges are falling apart. Our airports are third world condition. And 43 million Americans are on food stamps. Now, let us consider the state of affairs abroad. Not only have our citizens endured domestic disaster, but they've lived through one international humiliation after another, one after another. This is the legacy of Hillary Clinton: death, destruction, terrorism, and weakness. Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo as long as we are led by politicians who will not put America first. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve. The American people will come first once again. My plan will begin with safety at home, which means safe neighborhoods, secure borders, and protection from terrorism. There can be no prosperity without law and order. My message is that things have to change, and they have to change right now. When the FBI director says that the Secretary of State was extremely careless and negligent in handling our classified secrets, I also know that these terms are minor compared to what she actually did. They were just used. I have joined the political arena so that the powerful can no longer beat up on people who cannot defend themselves. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it. In this cause, I am proud to have at my side the next Vice President of the United States, Governor Mike Pence of Indiana. I only want to admit individuals into our country who will support our values and love our people. Anyone who endorses violence, hatred, or oppression is not welcome in our country and never, ever will be. We are going
education system that works, but one that works for the American people. We are going to build a great border wall. I am with you. I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you and good night. I love you.
Our next president faces daunting challenges in a dangerous world. Iran promoting terrorism, North Korea threatening, ISIS on the rise, Libya and North Africa in chaos. Hillary Clinton failed every single time as Secretary of State. Now she wants to be president. Hillary Clinton doesn't have the fortitude, strength, or stamina to lead in our world. She failed as Secretary of State. Don't let her fail us again.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.